Hello, fight fans, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Classic MMA Revival. I am the most dangerous man alive today, and on this eve, we're going to be watching Rings Holland Free Fight Event number 1. This event was held on February 19th, 1995 at the Sport Holland Zuid in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. We'll be treated to 8 fights tonight. With some pretty awesome appearances, I will say. We get some classic Rings greats such as Dick Frye, Chris Dolman, Akira Maeda, Hans Neyman, Willie Peters. So we see a lot of the original cast and crew that you would see at the very beginning of Rings. I don't have a whole lot to say, though. This is I'm back for Classic MMA Revival. It's been a while since I did a Classic MMA Revival because, unfortunately, Legends Never Die Live, the new weekly, sometimes weekly streaming show. It depends. Last week I missed it. I'll do it again this week. That show kind of eats away at the content that would be saved for Classic MMA Revival. But since I don't want to repeat myself on Legends Never Die Live, and I don't want to have one event or one promotion sort of dominate the shows, I've already done a Rings Holland free fight event for for Legends Never Die Live. So that means I can save some Rings Holland free fights for Classic MMA Revival, which I'm doing here. I don't have a whole lot more to say, though. I will note that I have skipped ahead about 2 minutes into the video because them dastardly rascals over at the DVD company, whoever made this, they decided that it would be an awesome idea to spoil the majority of the event in the introduction. It shows like a highlight package. And if you've watched any of our content on this channel before, you'll see that sometimes that happens with these DVDs. Anyway, let's press play and check out the awesome action that is Rings Holland Free Fight Event number 1. I'm pressing play right now. Unfortunately, you won't get to hear a whole lot of this awesome rockin' music that they had playing. There we go. Nico Toshugu Press presents International Free Fight Events from Amsterdam, Holland. It's me, Vince McMahon from Central Station, Amsterdam. They have rail cars. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. That's my Vince McMahon impression. We get some what you might say is introduction to the fight style. I guess there's anything is available to the fighters, is what that guy was saying. Our first bout here tonight, fight fans, is going to see Hans Neyman taking on stern dad Andrei Kopylov. And there's Neyman. He's getting into the ring. Andrei Kopylov is already in the ring. Let me tell you a little bit about these men. A former Kyokushin karateka and kickboxing champion, Hans Neyman made his shoot wrestling debut in Japan for Fighting Network Rings on December 7th, 1991, as part of Chris Dolman's Rings Holland team. The match was against Masake Satake, and the bout ended in a draw. This is Neyman's second listed pro fight, the first coming at Rings Budokan Hall 1995. That's in quotation marks, because that event was actually the Mega Battle Tournament 1995 final. It's not a real event or a real tournament, I don't believe, so I don't know why. Plenty of guys have that fight listed as their first pro fight. Andrei Kopylov, meanwhile, he made his debut in Rings in 1992, obtaining a submission win over Volkan. Wow. This match against Neyman is listed as Kopylov's first pro bout. So here we go. The men have already started off. Kopylov looking a little sloppy here. He's just trying to grapple with Neyman, who wants to stay back and slap and kick. Very sloppy from Kopylov. He's not looking very slick here. He's looking actually kind of like a lump of shit. There's a leg kick from him and some bad sloppy trading as he tries to respond. And Kopylov does not look good. He gets punched in the kidney there. Kick there. I don't think Kopylov was prepared for a real fight. He's Russian, so I'm sure he's tough. But let's be honest. Whoa, he tries like a flying judo through there. Like a leg scissors. I don't think Kopylov, just by looking at him here, does he look like he's prepared for a real fight? I think they overestimate his skills. I think he was well liked by Volkan and the rest of the ring's Russian guys. There's a nice takedown there as he barrels over. And what is he doing here? Is he setting up for missionary sex? He just sort of barreled over Neyman there and was just sort of hugging him down by his genital area. There was a spin from Neyman, and then he's thinking of moving in with a punch to the gut and slaps to the head. Kopylov here is getting rocked. He goes down from a knee. He gets a 10 count. I like how they ding the bell as they're counting here. It's pretty cool. Kopylov is looking horrible. Absolutely horrible. He is stern dad, though. Your dad thinks he can fight, huh? Neyman here has got him back in the corner. They clinch. Neyman spins a very willing Kopylov down to the mat. Kopylov is just ready to go to the mat. I think he was expecting maybe a more gentle grappling match like he was used to in rings. And he's just getting pummeled here, and he's down again. Kopylov, wow, change your course here. Real fighting is definitely not for you. This is a bit embarrassing. He's slow to get up here. Kopylov is getting destroyed here by Neyman. Neyman moves in with a slap. Kopylov ducking his head down. Bad form. He goes down again. That should be it. Just call the match, ref. Don't they have a 3 knockdown rule in rings? They should. He's not getting up. He doesn't want any more. Kopylov is done. He's still wearing a ring. He's got a ring on his. That's it. Fight's over. Hans Neyman, the victor. Well, that match was okay. Kopylov looked horrible, though. And the trophies are brought out. So what would become of our 2 men here? After this, both men would continue to fight in rings for the foreseeable future. Neyman would have his last match for the promotion in 1999 at Rings Australia, NR3. A bout that was likely a real match, and one which he was victorious against Danny Higgins via rear naked choke. Is he wearing a wig? As the ring announcer. I'm sure there's no way he would be that gutsy to wear such an apparent wig, so it's got to be his real hair. Kopylov, meanwhile, would stay in rings until about 2001. He had a good run in the 1999 King of Kings tournament, which was a real tournament, and that's surprising after his performance tonight that we just saw. And he had 2 victories in the opening rounds, moving him to the finals. But in the quarterfinals, he lost to Minotauro Nogueira. On to fight number 2 of the evening, which is going to see Pete Burnsen versus Ronnie Rivano. There's Rivano, as the announcer said. Pete Burnsen. And we have Old Man Withers is going to be our referee. I'm not sure who these 2 boys are, but I do know that this is both men's first MMA bout, and I know that both men are from the Netherlands. Old Man Withers with his see-through shirt. Maybe he didn't have, because the previous ref had the short sleeve shirt, which looked more official. This doofus, it looks like they had him just bring in a dress shirt, which is see-through. It's transparent. You can see his wife beater below. Maybe they just stuck some, with tape, a patch on there. And he's got loafers on. So Old Man Withers is our ref. Let's watch this fight. Here we go. Round 1. This is a chopping kick and then a kick. And oh, look at that. Nice sort of spastic takedown. I take it these 2 boys are young rookies, I would imagine. Maybe they're a part of the Dolman gym. I'm not sure. We have one guy's wearing high tops. That would be Pete, and Rivano Ronnie. He has sneakers on too, but he also has the shin guards. So why didn't Pete wear those too? Pete's going for some type of bulldog throw. I don't know what he's expecting to do when the guy is completely behind him. That's a bad kick. Pete looks pretty awful in the striking. Haven't seen much out of Ronnie. I've only met one Ronnie in my lifetime. And he was kind of a spaz himself. So here we go. Ronnie's going for his own bulldog something or another. When the guy's completely behind him, they're in a corner here. An old man Withers separates him, brings him to the center, and he gives that little karate chop. There's a pushing kick from Pete. And again, we're going for the bulldog. Ronnie's going for the bulldog. What is going on with this bulldog? Both men have tried this now. Tie clinch from Pete. He's going for knees. We're in the corner here. We tie up. Reversing position here. Now Pete's in front position. They exchange knees, but Pete got kneed in the junk. Oh, that hurts. No time for respite, though, as Old Man Withers, our ref, restarts the fight pretty quickly. Pete looks none worse for the wear. He's moving in here. That was a good slap from Pete, but responded to by Ronnie, who seems to be the more crisp striker. I'll see both these guys are probably pretty green. He catches Pete's leg there as Pete was going for a knee. And look at this lovely mulleted man on the right. It looks like he's wearing a helmet made out of hair. He's must be shouting at one of the two fighters. What is it? Ronnie? Just right there. Ref should stop this. There's no chance for any submission. This is rings. The rules, there's rope escapes. So even if the guy was going to go for a submission, that was a good slap from Ronnie. Even if a guy was going to go for a submission in the ropes, it can't be allowed to succeed because it's in the ropes. Oh, it was a good smack from Ronnie, and he follows up with a nice push kick to the belly. He gets caught here with his neck in a sort of front guillotine choke, but Pete doesn't have much here, and Old Man Withers rightly decides that he will not allow that to continue because, again, up against the ropes, there is no chance for a submission. There's a bad kick from Pete. Ronnie responds, nice push kick. He sneaks away. Pete pushes forward here. They exchange rough slaps. He catches the foot momentarily, does Ronnie. Both men are obviously very green, but Pete is the worst of the two. Ronnie is actually better. Ronnie's going for the bulldog choke again. I don't know what is up with this bulldog choke. And Pete sinks in a rear naked choke. Ronnie's grabbing the ropes. They should be stopped immediately. And Ronnie taps out, but that doesn't count. That was a deep rear naked choke. Too bad it was up against the ropes. And Old Man Withers is trying to coax Ronnie forward. The fight's restarted. Nice straight slap from Ronnie. He almost sneaks around the back there. They grapple again. A lot of grappling from these boys. And he's going for this bulldog choke again. What is with this? What is with this bulldog? And they're going out the ropes. And Pete's got a rear naked choke. And the outside officials are working to get him off. And Pete doesn't understand what he's done. Old Man Withers, he's taking him here. Look here, son. Old Man Withers taking control. Pete is the worser. The worser is the more worse stand-up fighter. Oh, nice pickup and scoop slam there by Ronnie. He might get into mount here. He has his neck trapped, but that's nothing to be worried about. I think his leg just got trapped, so there goes the mount possibility. Ronnie is the crisper of the two. They both clearly look like rookies, and I think I did mention that this is both men's first MMA bout. But what is up with that bulldog throw? Is that what they're trying to do? Is that a Chris Dolman? Like, he took him to the side before the fight and said, you got to do the Chris Dolman bulldog choke or the bulldog throw. One of you does it in the fight, you get your green belt. And I assume that's how Chris Dolman sounds. I think I've heard him once. I've heard him speak once, and he sounds nothing like that. The fight is stood up here. Restarted. Kicks from both men. Pete's trying to move in here. Very sloppy punches there. Nice tie clinch knee. Ronnie fires with another push kick. He is, again, clearly the better striker. And Pete is just pretty awful. He's pretty... What the fuck is that? Were those knees? Or was he massaging him? He is the more spastic, sloppy, loose fighter. And I would say Ronnie clearly is the better stand-up fighter. I would assume from those two rear naked chokes that Pete's better on submissions, but I can't really say for sure because neither of them were successful. Whoa, there was a straight from Ronnie right down the pipe. That was pretty good. He delivers another good one here as Pete just barrels in. He doesn't have much standing defense, and now Ronnie's going for a guillotine choke against the ropes again. No chance for success, because even if the guy taps out, it's up against the ropes. And rings with their rules regarding the ropes and rope breaks. There's no way a submission can come while the men are in the ropes. Old Man Withers separates them. I do like his loafers that he has on, or his, what are those, Converse or Vans? Is he wearing Skechers? He's got a pair of Skechers on. Those bad knees from Pete. He gets eye gouged from Ronnie as Ronnie rips his head backwards, grabbing his forehead and maybe his eyebrows. We're tied up against the ropes here in the corner. This has been a reoccurring theme as the men sloppily trade dirty style in the corner. I would say I haven't seen a whole lot from either man. I would say if I were to judge who has the better prospects of being a fighter, it would be Ronnie, clearly. He's going for this bulldog throw, and he falls off. What is with this? Is that... Why are both men trying to do that? Is that what they were taught at the dojo or the training gym? And they keep trying to go for it. I'm telling you, there must be an incentive for them to pull it off, or they must have been instructed. And here goes Pete. He's going for the bulldog throw now too again. But the guy's completely behind him. What is he expecting to do? Where is he expecting this guy's body to go? Like magically go, like pass through his own body? Like change the matter of his body is going to change into a gaseous form? Is Ronnie's body going to suddenly turn gaseous? Now Ronnie's going for the bulldog choke again. And he almost gets caught in a rear naked choke, but he rightly turns at the correct moment and gets in front of him. But again, bulldog choke, bulldog throw, whatever this is, going towards the outside of the ring. Pete totally expected his opponent's body to spontaneously transform into a non-solid as Ronnie's going for the bulldog throw again. He winds up on the ground here. He's going for a leg. Now he's going for a ankle stretch, an Achilles pull. He doesn't really have it. He doesn't really have Pete's body locked down. Now he's going for a double ankle pull. Again, he has no control over Pete's body. Pete manages to trip him up. He's going to wind up on top here in sort of a weird twister. They're twisted up like pretzels. The salty sweet pretzel, as the Good Vibe would say. The Good Vibe mistakenly attributed Quadros saying a salty sweet pretzel in one of the prides. Quadros never said that. He's now in like a backwards mount here as he's trying to go for, thinking of going for a choke. And he's going for this bulldog pull on the mat. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be done. I don't think so, though, as Ronnie is going nowhere. And Pete has little to no control. He does manage to, because Ronnie just helped him there. Ronnie rolled over his body to allow him into a better position. He almost had the left arm there trapped of Ronnie, and he might have been able to go for like a headscarf. Well, it's restarted again here, and we're in the fading moments of our fight. This fight was scheduled for one 10-minute round. Different round structures for some of the fights here. I think subsequent fights are going to be fought 5-minute rounds, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Pete looks really tired here. Ronnie looks a lot fresher as Pete just sort of lumbers in. He has little regard. He's bleeding there. And the bell rings, ending our fight. So is it the blue or the red? Who do you think won? I would give that to Ronnie. I'd say he looked better. You can't credit this with on judging, because this doesn't count. None of this counts. Not one single part of that counts. And Pete's confused here, and he's still holding on. He makes it tighter. Hold on, that was hilarious. I didn't notice that the first time. And they're going to replay Ronnie's scoop slam there. Lick it. So the ref comes over. Pete's making clear eye contact with the ref, staring at him right in the eyes. The ref says, "Stop. what you're doing. You can't do that. Stop. And watch Pete make it tighter. The ref right here is clearly telling him to stop. And now watch. Stop what you're doing. Pete doesn't understand. And right here, he makes it even tighter. Right here. The ref has told him to stop, and he clearly understood as he was staring the ref right in the eye. And here he just makes it tighter. That is absolutely hilarious. And the ref... All right, let's press play. Scoop slam there by Ronnie. Hulk Hogan would be proud, or the Ultimate Warrior. And here's this awful attempt at an Achilles pull. Look at this lovely chap here. And this canvas style. Has anybody ever heard of the band Future Islands? This guy's face looks like the lead singer from Future Islands. He's got a lovely getup on here, and why is he there? He's just sort of creeping in the ring. And I love the announcer here. Is this it can't be a toupee. That would be so ballsy for him to be wearing something so obviously a toupee. It can't be a toupee. It's got to be his real hair. It's like Donald Trump. Donald Trump would have to be the most ballsiest toupee wearer in the world to wear such a ridiculous hairstyle as a toupee. Same goes for this guy. Let's press play. I guess Pete won. All right. Well, after this, Pete would only have 2 more bouts, going 1-1 and ending his career with a record of 2-1. He fought exclusively, I should say, in the Holland-based free fight events, including Battle of Amsterdam later in 1995 and Fight Gala, Mixed Fight Night in 1996, which was his last, and that one was a loss. As for Ronnie, he would be very active up until 2002, seemingly ending his career in 2002 before coming back in 2005 for one last fight. His record would end up as 13-13-3. Time for our next bout, which sees Willy Pitas taking on Masayuki Naruse. And it's Rings Holland versus Rings Japan. We see Akira Maeda, Yuki Nakai, I think. There's Yamamoto, Yoshihisa Yamamoto, and in the far back there, the small guy, that is Masayuki Naruse. Why do they have their hands over their heart? Is that customary for the Japanese national anthem? I thought that was only an American thing. You put your hand over your heart for saying the Pledge of Allegiance or for singing the American national anthem. But apparently that's also a thing for Japan. I never knew that. He looks bored and confused. So over on the Rings Holland side, we have Dick Frye. We have Chris Dolman. And who else? Let's get a shot here. And here's the Dutch national anthem. Willy Pitas, he's standing next to unknown accomplice Dick Frye. He looks stupid. There's Chris Dolman looking very sweaty. What has he been doing? Why are you so sweaty, Chris Dolman? And Chris Dolman's dad. And who's this fucking Frankenstein lurch motherfucker? He's also got his hand over his heart. It's nice that he brought in his suit that he bought back in 1955 for this. Who is this clown? I don't think he understands where he's at. He must think he's at a baseball game. And Chris, this is hilarious. They look amazing. They look so amazing. The Rings Holland team. Free Fight Interland. It's the Free Fight Interland. Holland versus Japan. Why the fuck does Willy Peters have boxing gloves on? What is happening? Wait, okay, so before I continue here, why don't I tell you a little bit about our fighters? I completely forgot to tell you about our fighters, and that might explain what's going on with the boxing gloves. Willy Peters, as I like to call him, has been with Rings since the first ever event in 1991, having been brought over by Chris Dolman to help fill out the roster of Rings in the early days when not a lot of Japanese wrestlers wanted to work with Maeda. He was under the tutelage of Dolman since he was 16 years old when he joined Dolman's gym to study judo. This is Peters' first listed pro MMA bout. Naruse, meanwhile, is one of those only Japanese wrestlers who would work with Maeda, and he joined him in the beginning of Rings. And Maeda is listed as his wrestling teacher. He has one pro fight on his career record, but I don't think it's a real fight. It's listed as a fight happening at the Not Real Rings Budokan Hall 1995 event, aka Mega Battle Tournament 1995 final, which was a work tournament. It wasn't a real tournament. But I can't say with 100% certainty because I have not watched that event in full. I've only skimmed through it, and from what I saw, it looked like a work. But maybe we'll watch it for a future Legends Never Die or for a classic MMA revival. So let's press play again here. I think being that this might be actually Naruse's first real hard shoot, that's why Willie Peters is wearing boxing gloves, because maybe if he wasn't wearing boxing gloves, it would be really bad for Naruse. But let's see what happens here. Here comes Willie Peters. He's playing the kickboxer role. And Naruse here is the Akira Maeda trained striker, which if makes no sense. Why would you train striking under a man whose career is to fake fight? Sure, it looks good, but it's not proper. It's not effective. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you know who looks like a good striker? Undertaker. Whoa, look at that that swinging, flipping belly to belly by Willie Peters there. Gets a good rise out of the crowd. Everyone's, like Michael Cole always says, he's the best natural striker in the WWE. Undertaker. Would you really want to go train striking under the Undertaker? No. Why the fuck would you do that? Like, why would you train to fight for real under Akira Maeda? You wouldn't. Unless your name is Masayuki Naruse. So the fight's restarted here, and Willie Peters might just destroy Naruse. Oh, there was a good overhand slap by Naruse, and I don't understand the makeup of this fight. There's that bulldog throw, but it was actually done correctly by Willie Peters there, who had Naruse off to his side. I guess you can see the difference in the form here, and we'll watch this again real quick. Action replay. Watch, Willie Peters make sure that Naruse is on his side here as he turns right there. See, boom. The other guys were trying to pull the guys as they were on their back. Willie Peters is in side control here. He can't do many submissions with boxing gloves on. So again, this is totally confusing. Why Willie Peters, who is a rings combatant, why is he forced to wear boxing gloves? Is this a mixed styles matchup? Or maybe they thought, if they were worried about Naruse, they should have just had him wear headgear. But maybe they thought the boxing gloves would make it a little bit more even. As Naruse there popped Willie Peters with a shot, and he acknowledges his own shot there. Maybe Willie Peters was smiling at him. Willie Peters here is trying to wrap up the neck, trying to hold. There was a good knee. There was a good knee from Naruse. And Willie Peters is fucking laughing. And he's like, what's he going to do? Boom! There's a knee for it. Oh, my God. That was fucking amazing. This is awesome. This is really great stuff right here. Let's watch this again. There's a slap. Willie Peters must be laughing at him or acknowledging that. And so Naruse acknowledges it back. And then watch when Naruse delivers what I thought was a solid knee. Willie Peters might have thought it was a solid knee. Or maybe he didn't. See, boom. That was a nice little solid knee. Willie Peters, with his face, tells you what he thinks about it. And then he's thinking, here, you want to see a knee? Here comes a fucking knee. Kapow! Oh, yes. That is awesome. And that was a nice one, too, from Willie Peters. That was really crisp. We're clinched in the corner here. So, see, we're back to the refs. I didn't mention it. I just noticed it now. But this ref has on his short sleeve shirt confirming that Old Man Withers had to bring his own shirt, which just happened to be a translucent. It was a good shot from Peters. We're wrapped up in the ropes here. Old Man Withers had to bring his own shirt, and that's why he had on his translucent shirt with his wife beater underneath. Willie Peters again goes for this bulldog choke. or a bulldog. I keep calling it a bulldog choke, a bulldog throw, whatever the. So I'm sure it's got some interesting complex name. Shiryoshi Kosaka right there. He's behind Naruse. Nice falling, twirling, belly to belly. There's a good slap. Kapow! The sweat flies off of Willie Peters' face. Shiryoshi Kosaka was regulated to fan duty, fanning Naruse down. See, that was a 5-minute round. The rules. What are the rules? Especially with this boxing glove bullshit. They just seem to be making up fight rules on the fly. There's a solid 1-2 that chases Naruse to the corner. Naruse is not a good striker. He landed that one good strike, but other than that, he's got that was a pretty good kick. Maybe I better shut up before I make myself look like a fool. I want to shit on Naruse's striking, but I'll be honest here. I just decided now to start paying attention to his striking. So let's see what Naruse has. But my inkling is his striking might have okay form, but I think it lacks effectiveness. That would be just like Akira Maeda. His striking looks okay. What happened? Did he poke him in the eye? What? He had boxing gloves on. Anyway, Akira Maeda's striking looks good, but there's a big difference between looking good and being effective. So I guess he bows. What, did he kick him in the chin and that wasn't legal? Fuck, it's a fight, motherfucker. Get some killer instincts in you. Here's Willie Peters is going for a guillotine with the boxing gloves. Is it easier or harder to do a guillotine with the boxing gloves? He's going to try it. He uses it the knee. Naruse right in the top of the head. He's trying to trip him there. He had him tied up in almost a full Nelson. Forward full Nelson. What is that called? Uncle Nelson? No, the Uncle Nelson's from behind. Yeah. Willie Peters here is thinking, couldn't pull the trigger. He should have pulled the trigger on that punch a little earlier. I think if he would have struck with a 1-2, Naruse would have been completely open. We're on the ground here. Willie Peters is in side control. He gets the mount. Now if he can get some separation here and rain down hell. A random shot of the crowd for whatever reason. Not sure why. Willie Peters is kind of obstructing the breathing there of Naruse, and the ref decides to stand him up. Naruse, a little slow getting up here. I wonder if he's getting a little winded. Willie Peters looks good. He's in fine shape. There's a good leg kick. I must admit, I think Willie Peters wasted his talents in rings. He probably could have been a pretty good mixed martial arts artist if he would have earlier on instead of letting his skills dull. There's again a nice belly to belly falling suplex there. I think his skills were dulled because you can see hints of a really good striker in Willie Peters. And it couldn't have helped his striking. There's boogers on the side of Naruse's face there on his cheek. End of round 2. Peters, I think his skills diminished while he was in rings. They're not going to get better being a professional shoot style wrestler. They're not going to get better. You know, if you're a pretty good kickboxer and you go into pro wrestling, your skills aren't going to improve while you're in pro wrestling, you know? So here we go for our third round. We got a third round. What's wrong with the back of his neck? He was sweaty. The ref wipes off the sweat on his own pants. That's why he should have a towel in his back pocket there. That was a very slow. Oh, did you see that spinning kick there from Peters? Had bad intentions on it. Didn't connect, though. We're up against the ropes. So Willie Peters, what could have been, I think he could have been a pretty good MMA fighter. Whoa, he almost breaks the neck of, maybe he almost broke his own neck. That was a botched belly. And Naruse was going to go for maybe a rear naked choke, but he was face cranking Peters there, but it was in the ropes, so it did not count. So let's see what Naruse got. He needs to throw a good strike here. He's not pulling the trigger. Peters was able to just come in and clock him, he should have struck a lot sooner. Maybe even kicked towards him. And that could have changed the outcome of that. Whoa, he's got some strength here as he tries to pull Willie Peters over him, but too bad the ropes were there. Otherwise, he might have succeeded in his efforts. He's got his hands up really high. He almost looks like Koji Katao. Remember Koji Katao? It looks really bad. That was a spinning back slap. He goes for it again, but he hit him with the elbow that time. He gets a warning from the ref, and he apologizes to Peters. Peters, who looks like he might be a hothead. In fact, I think we know he's a hothead. He's going for that spinning back slap again. He goes low. This is, wow, suddenly Naruse has totally changed like on a dime. He actually looked like he was preemptively striking there for once. Willie Peters might be a hothead. I think there was the Legends Never Die Live, the Rings Holland Free Fight event number 7 we watched for Legends Never Die Live. Willie Peters fought in that one too, and it was a total mess. And yeah, Willie Peters like flipped out. He flipped out. Like, it was a really heated match. Naruse here is finding success, he thinks, with that spinning back slap, which is really sort of connecting with the forearm / elbow. He's trying to take Willie Peters down there, but Willie Peters, with superior balance and control, manages to get on top. That wasn't looking good for Naruse as soon as he was falling. You could already see Peters adjusting. So really good balance from Peters. He's got some evident skills here on the ground. I think if the boxing gloves weren't on him, this would be a completely different fight. So again, I am confused on why he's being handicapped with the boxing gloves. They're not helping him on the feet, and they're hindering him greatly on the ground. He can't pull the trigger there, and he waits too late as Naruse fires first. Peters just should have started throwing. There's the end of round 3, and I believe the end of our fight. That was a pretty interesting fight. I was entertained. I liked it. We'll see the outcome of this. I think it was Willie Peters all the way. But Akira Maeda might say otherwise. Let's see. Oh, elbow. Kapow. They showed again. Da-boom. That wasn't legal. That was a good slap from Naruse. They replay that, so they're replaying all of Naruse's offense. Round 4. We're getting a 4th round. Wow. Inside leg kick from Peters. Then a mid-body kick under the armpit. He rushes in and clinches. We're in the corner here. Peters is trying to get separation. He goes for a tie clinch here, but he eats a knee first. Pushes Naruse back into the corner, and we're clinched again. Naruse has under hooks here, or body lock. He's trying to trip Peters, but doesn't get anywhere. Referee separates the fighter, restarts it here. Peters needs to start firing rapid fire. Just go, go, go. Don't wait. What are you waiting for? Fire. He goes for a right there. He should have set that up with a jab. Peters here is holding back, and he shouldn't be. That was a good push away sort of uppercut. And there was a good knee. Now Naruse is bleeding. There was an uppercut that just missed. This bulldog throw. He's going for it. This probably has some fancy Japanese name. And Naruse is hurt, I think. His nose is bleeding, it looks like. He shoots in. He gets Willie Peters down. Willie Peters is just letting him take him down here. What the fuck was that? Let's replay that. That was so bad. Like, Peters just stops doing anything. He's like, okay, I'm beating this guy up. He's like, okay, just take me down. Yeah, just do whatever you want to do. What the fuck is happening? Willie Peters has allowed Naruse to get on his back here, and Naruse is going to choke him out. Peters defends. I think he's just letting Naruse get some offense off here. And Peters is under the ropes. The ref stops it to restart it standing. I think this is just supposed to be like a sparring session. I think it's supposed to be made to look good, but I don't think Peters was sent in there to demolish him. And now he's letting Naruse get off a lot of offense with crisp slaps. and he tumbles onto Naruse, and he's on top here. But we're in the ropes, and he's getting instruction from his corner, who's right there, like literally right in his ear. But I think this is for show. This event, or this fight, looks like it's all for show. I don't think Peters is out to destroy Naruse, because he could. I have a feeling he could. But he's not. He's holding back. That's my belief. I could be wrong. He's going for doggy style here as Naruse rolls and was trying to grab for maybe a knee bar there. He's still trying to grab onto a limb here, but he doesn't have much. And Willie Peters checks the oil with the big boxing glove. He gets around back behind him, and he's just going to lean on him here. He should be punching him, maybe kneeing him to the body. And now this fight has devolved into just a slow-paced, boring fight. It was good up until this fourth round. And I think when Peters drew blood and hurt Naruse, I think that's when he decided he was going a little too hard on old Naruse here, who might be being protected. And maybe Peters was told this, to not demolish him, to not make it so one-sided. We are a Japanese promotion after all. And the bell rings, ending round 4, as Peters was already departing before the bell even rang. Well, maybe we're going to get one more round here as Shiyoshi Kosaka, a young Shiyoshi Kosaka, fans down Naruse. And there is Hans Neyman, now it looks like, has come in. That was a good shot. They don't show much of that, and they're going to instead go and show us all of Naruse's offense, which looked like it mildly annoyed Peters, but didn't really hurt him. So here we go, maybe our 5th and final round here. Oh, here we go. Yep, final round. Let's see what Peters has. He comes in with 1, 2, 3, goes for a flying double kick. As he's really now he's pouring it on. Now he wants to destroy Naruse for whatever reason. Okay, it's like round 4. He stops abusing and stops demolishing Naruse. And now round 5 start here, he just comes out and he's trying to kill him. I think he's done playing around. Naruse's got a lot of blood coming out of that nose now, as he's trying to strike first. He's trying to get off the strikes first, which is what he should be doing. You cannot let Willie Peters set up. If Willie Peters is really out to hurt him here, you do not want to let Willie Peters strike first in any fight. And not just for if you're fighting Willie Peters. In general, any fight. You do not want to let a guy control the pace. You see him striking, you're going to either immediately counter, or you're already meeting him with a strike, unless you're trying to set him up, I guess. He's going for a rear naked choke here, but rope break as Willie Peters reaches out and grabs the ropes. Willie Peters looks kind of tired. Naruse looks fully tired here, as he's really slow, and the ref is giving him what for. Naruse comes in, striking first. That's good. Willie Peters bounces off the ropes, comes in with a short little uppercut. Must have caught him there, as Naruse looks really bad here. As Naruse collapses, this should be counted as a down. And the ref is appropriately counting it as a down. We'll see what happens here. I think Naruse might be done. Are you ready to fight? There he goes. He's ready. But I think, he comes out with a Hail Mary strike, a spinning back slap. He shoots in. Peters sprawls. Desperation mode for Naruse here, as he looks really tired. And I think he is beat, and he knows it. He might be just trying to survive here. Put your fists up, lad. Light little right there from Peters, and he crumples him with a knee. He goes for an elbow. The ref tells him, what the fuck are you doing? And now Naruse is complaining very hard about the elbow, saying, I can't go on. That's illegal. But I think the ref is reminding him that Naruse got off an elbow himself. They exchange here, knee up the middle by Peters, and a wild sprawl there, as Peters was literally diving towards the ropes with that sprawl. Naruse gets some instructions from Shiyoshi Kosaka right there, and he's trying to strike forward, but I don't think he has much left. He tries to shoot, Willie Peters saw that coming a mile away, and now he's just going to lean on and lay his head down onto, and he headbutts the back of Naruse, who is complaining about it. It wasn't intentional. I think Peters was going for something there, but he saw Naruse winding up, and the bell rings. No acknowledgement there from Peters, as I think Peters might be kind of an asshole. I don't know Willie Peters, his personality. Was he just a take no shit kind of guy, or was he just a dickhead? You would have expected him. He just went 5 rounds with a fellow co-worker, and he didn't even acknowledge him at the end there. Willie Peters gets the win after 5 rounds. That was clear. And the men now embrace. Great. So what would become of these two fighters here? Well, after this, I don't think Naruse would have another legit shoot fight until 1999, when Rings as an organization had bit the bullet and dove into pure shoot fights. He fought Dave V.D. Veen, Dutch fighter, at Rings Rise First in March of 1999. And hold on, I will press play here as something's happening. Rings Rise First in March of 1999. Naruse beat V.D. Veen via Achilles stretch, and that might have been a non-classified work. Willie Peters, his next shoot fight, meanwhile, was likely against Tsuyoshi Kosaka at Rings Holland, the king of martial arts, in February 96. And that's all I have written down for these two chaps. So Naruse gets a congratulatory name announcement from the ring announcer, and we're off to the next bout, which will be our 4th bout of the night, and that sees Yoshihisa Yamamoto taking on Rudd Ewald. I assume that's how you say his name. Well, I'm not sure who Rudd is. This is his first fight, and I think he might have been the janitor at Chris Dolman's gym, as Yamamoto is coming in looking very Takada-like. And here comes Rudd. What the fuck is that? Oh, is that Beavis? Did I just hear Beavis? Oh, so that unknown man that was standing in line for the Rings Holland. And I want to hear Beavis. We just heard Beavis. I'll turn this up here so you can hear Beavis. Oh, wait, I got to go back further. Let's just go back here. I don't know why Beavis is playing. So here's Rudd. He was that unknown. It's Rude. Okay, well, that fucks everything up. I wrote later, I call him Rudd the Chud. If it's rude, I can't call him Chewed. It makes no sense. So I'm just going to keep calling him Rudd for the duration of this. So there's Rudd. He's got a tall, lanky fellow next to him. I see the ring girl there in her. Whoa. Oh my God, stop. What the hell? Oh, am I going to have to blur that out? YouTube is going to flag me again. I'm not going to replay it because you could clearly see she is wearing a see-through costume, or at least she has no undergarments. It was Yamamoto. Don't come back on screen, lady. Don't come back on screen. So there's Rudd. He looks like a chud. He might have been the janitor at Chris Dolman's gym because this is his first fight. And I think this is going to be a gimme for Yamamoto. Let me tell you about Yoshihisa. He is one of Akira Maeda's whipping boys, debuting for the promotion on May 16, 1992 at the Mega Battle 4 Korin event, where he went to a draw against Masayuki Naruse, aforementioned or previously seen fighter we just saw. He has one prior listed fight on his pro MMA record, which happened at the Rings Budokan Hall 1995 event, which I've noted before was probably not a real event. So I don't know if randomly Rings just decided, holy shit, these boys are going fucking nuts on each other. Yamamoto's a big boy. Chud, Rudd. Rudd is a stocky fellow. I actually had a funny joke in there that I had wrote down about the Rings Mega Battle Tournament 1995 final, which I said it was a fake tournament, and even if they decided to do real fights for the final, but not for the first part of the tournament. Yeah, that this doesn't jive, honky. That was the joke I wrote, and I never got it out because this fight. Meanwhile, this fight is going nuts. Yamamoto's opened up a cut on Rudd. There's Hans Neyman, who's very concerned about this. And who is this long-haired, tall fellow for Rings Holland here? He seems very close to Rudd. I wonder if that's his grizzly bear. Yamamoto here, he's not a handsome-looking man. He's very ugly, with a lot of acne. He's a good size for a Japanese fighter, and these are just wild slaps. It's like a sumo fight. As Rudd is trying to tee off here, Yamamoto, I think, has gotten lucky. And Yamamoto's down, and Rudd knees him right in the head, and Yamamoto tells the ref that there was a punch in there, and Yamamoto, after looking like a king, he's now looking like a jester. Fortunes have changed here. Yamamoto better dig down deep here and become a man. This is a fight. It's clearly now a fight. And although Yamamoto here is primarily a fake fighter, he hasn't. This is before he fought Rickson Gracie. Maybe this is the. He's just going crazy with these chops. Maybe Yamamoto here. This is the. Oh my God! I can't think of the word. It's gonna come to me. This is the test for Yamamoto to see if he'll go into the Valley Tudo Japan 1995 event where he will face Rickson Gracie. I'll talk about more that later. I'm going to be trying to think of this word. It's, you know what the word is. You know, in Hollywood, you go for an audition. That's it. See, I finally talked through it. Maybe this is an audition for Yamamoto to see if he can handle himself for real. And instead of fake shoot pro wrestling, shoot style pro wrestling, let's see if he can actually handle himself for real in a shoot fight. So that's why they gave him the janitor of Chris Dolman's gym. And the janitor is working the body with some hard shots here as Yamamoto is eating them. And Yamamoto is collapsing here. The House of Cards has fallen as Yamamoto is now reverting to afraid Japanese man, scared Japanese man tactics, which we've seen plenty of times in Pride Fighting Championships when you have a Japanese pro wrestler who suddenly is afraid. And they just go into the shell where they hold on, they don't do anything. They stop striking, offense becomes negligible. And Yamamoto here looks scared. He looks afraid as his body's getting worked here. He doesn't know what to do. He just doesn't know what to do. He's never been in a real fight in his life, and he's not sure how to handle it. There's a lot of stress. A lot of things go through your mind. Fight or flight comes into play. And right now, Yamamoto is definitely not fighting. He's trying to strike back now. He needs to break away here and do more. He tries for a knee, a short little left there, and the bell rings. A much-needed ring of the bell for Yamamoto, who maybe, hopefully, can collect himself in the next minute. And let's not show this lady again, because you could clearly see nipples, at least a nipple. And I don't want YouTube to YouTube has already demonetized the entire account. They've stripped away Super Chat. They took away everything, and this was before this latest round of Adpocalypse, the Voxpocalypse, whatever it was. So before that even hit, this was like 2 months ago. They just completely demonetized out of the blue. They just got a letter saying, you're no longer eligible for monetization. Your Super Chat is gone. Go fuck yourself. That's pretty much what YouTube said. So this fight was exciting, and now it's turned into a clinch fest. Rudd the Chud works the body here. He has on he gets kneed in the dick there, I think. He has very cool gi pants on here. The slick gi pants, they're sheeny. silk style gi pants. As Yamamoto's back to firing, but Rudd fires back. Very sloppy from Yamamoto here. He needs to be more calculated and more technical in his striking instead of just getting into a dogfight with this guy from Holland, who's probably had, oh my God, he just fucking rocked. He rocked this. I was gonna say this Dutch guy who I would assume there's a lot of street fighting. You know, according to Boss Root, he fought a lot in bars and stuff like that. So I'm sure all these Dutch guys just beat the shit out of each other, getting fights all the time. Has Yamamoto ever been in a real fight in his life? And getting his ass kicked by Akira Maeda in the locker room does not count. So let's watch this fucking hell of a right from Rudd. Yamamoto here is not expecting this. Rudd just winds up and slaps the taste out of his mouth and gets him with another stiff shot right up the middle. Yamamoto is getting he's getting just his face is getting smashed here, paint brushed. He's now got blood around the lips. Maybe his nose is bleeding. Maybe his mouth is bleeding. Rudd the Chud just keeps pushing forward. And Yamamoto is just trying to hold on here. Tries to deliver a knee. Yamamoto is pretty much given up. Again, he's reverted into this defensive shell that I've seen happen from so many Japanese pro wrestlers. They're just not prepared for real physicality. They're not prepared for the shock that their mind goes through when they actually get hit and they're like, holy fuck, what do I do? And Yamamoto looks like he's saying to himself, holy fuck, what do I do? He should have had a lot of confidence that he opened up a gash under Rudd the Chud's left eye, or his right eye. And now I guess he's being checked here. Why? Does he have another cut under his left eye? Does he cut easily? He must have another cut under his left eye there. Maybe he's got a lot of scar tissue on his face from street fighting or bar fighting. I don't know. Yamamoto here is thankful for this. Maybe they'll stop the fight. He's thinking to himself, maybe I'll get out of this. As I don't think Rudd the Chud is going to quit. It doesn't look like he knows what the word quit is, at least when it comes to a fight. We'll see. He is the janitor of Dolman's gym. He sure takes a lot of shit while working there. Yamamoto tries to get some off here. Yamamoto's got the size. He's not really using it, though, as he's bitch slapping towards Rudd. He's letting Rudd get in on the inside here. And his slapping, I'm surprised he was opened up a cut on Rudd's face, because his slapping there was, again, not very erratic and very goofy. Ref separates him here as this match keeps going towards the corner. A spinning back slap. He must have saw Naruse had some success with that. And Rudd again here gets on the inside. He eats a knee, but he just keeps pushing forward here, closing the distance, not letting the taller fighter work from his length or work from his space that he should be working from. But again, Yamamoto is not an experienced fighter, and training with Akira Maeda does not count as experience. There's the bell ending round 2. We're going to go to a third round, I assume. See, look at this. This is bad slapping from Yamamoto. It's not targeted. He's just flailing his arms here. His face is showing. He's afraid. And Rudd the Chud. Yamamoto looks tired too. He sneezes or coughs. We gotta clean some shit off of Rudd's chest. He's got dad bod to the max. Looks like he might be pushing his late 30s here. Yamamoto tries to counter there after a missing kick from Rudd. And more crazy slaps from Yamamoto as he's getting off some good ones there, especially that uppercut. And he just keeps firing, but he's not targeting these at all. Now Rudd is pissed off. Rudd the Chud is fucking angry. Rudd is pissed off as he's looking to really hurt Yamamoto here. Yamamoto's doing whatever he can to get Rudd off of him. And Yamamoto's corner is directing him to do an uppercut as he puts his foot up on the ropes for our little respite. He's got on pretty trunks. Kind of like a pretty hot pink. Really manly. He got poked in the eye. Just keep going, Yamamoto. The ref didn't see nothing. Just keep going. Yamamoto, the honorable Japanese man, though, stops. Well, he got poked in the eye, Rudd. Yamamoto should be in a neutral corner, and he should not be getting water or getting his face cleaned or getting instructions. He should be in a neutral corner. And that is the end of part 1 here. So let me switch videos here, and we will continue. Video's been switched, ready to press play, and let's finish out Rudd the Chud versus Yoshihisa Yamamoto. There we go, Yamamoto getting the smelling salts there, or something on a cotton swab there. Rudd the Chud getting his eye checked. He's got a cut there. He's got a long-haired, not Naruse fellow. I don't know who that guy is, but he's pretty tall. There is, not sure who that is. That's one of the Rings boys, one of the Rings dojo boys, maybe. Whoa, what's happening here? What's going on? He tried to pull away, and there we go, ready to restart the fight. Let's go, Rudd. Rude. As he's actually called the Rude, but calling him Rude would not make my joke of calling him Rudd the Chud work. So I'm just going to keep on calling him Rudd the Chud. We're clinched here against the ropes. There's a punch to the body from Rudd. He's thinking of another one. Knee from Yamamoto. Couple slaps there from Rudd. A slap from Yamamoto. Who's a pretty big dude. I think he's over 6 foot. Pretty tall for a Japanese guy. He's going for a front guillotine there that had really no effort behind it. There's a haymaker slap from Rudd. Let's go, Rudd. I just heard that. Do you have to rasp the R's when speaking Dutch? Is that also a thing in Dutch? Like Spanish? Front guillotine here from Yamamoto. Really weak effort. Ref comes in to separate. Yamamoto's pretty tired. I think Rudd is pretty tired as well. Missing kick there by Yamamoto. Nice one, too. Oh, nice straight there. Straight left. And another little nice little slap there at the end. We're in a corner again here. A lot of clinching from these two fellows as they're pretty tired. I'm not sure what I think about the white turnbuckles there. They look kind of cheap. And you see all the trophies. They have more trophies than they have men in this. Are they expecting to... They don't want to run out of trophies. We get another shot here. There's knees. So there is... Okay. How many more bouts we got here? There's 8 bouts. Okay, we're on bout number 4. So we need another 8 trophies. And plus we need 2 trophies for these guys. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. It looks like they had way more trophies than there were. Okay, here's a better way to count. Okay, let's go back here. Now I'm obsessed with counting these fucking trophies. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 13 trophies. And this fight and 4 more. This is the 4th fight. So you need 10 trophies. They have way more. Maybe they planned ahead. You always buy more than what you expect to use. That way you never run out. That is a good business practice. You know, if you're going on a trip and you need to bring some water, buy extra water. You never know. You know, if you buy extra food, you never know. So good on the Dutch there. Good business practices. Good thinking ahead. That round is over. I forget what round we're in now. I'm timed warp since the first part of the video here. Get our rockin' music. Yamamoto showing the signs of the battle as he's got a cut. And to be honest here, Yamamoto is one of the only Japanese rings fighters to have legitimate fights, as I recounted that he fought. Well, I haven't recounted yet, but I will recount. He will go on to fight Rickson Gracie. So this was actually, I think this really was Yamamoto's first MMA bout, because it was after this that he would go to the Vale Tudo Japan 95. Some good slapping here from Yamamoto. Oh yeah, he's doing pretty good here. Now where'd he get all this energy? Looking good. It's after this event that Yamamoto would go to Vale Tudo Japan 95 and have his famous fight against Rickson Gracie. So I was wrong when I said that Yamamoto was one of the only Japanese rings fighters that have legit MMA experience. He hadn't yet. This was it. But I think he's one of the only Japanese Japanese rings fighters to be willing to go in there. Because I think maybe this was a tune-up. Maybe this was a tune-up match for him to eventually go into the Vale Tudo Japan 95. An audition, as I said earlier. Maybe this is an audition for Yamamoto. Yamamoto going for this front guillotine again. Using the ropes for some support. Rud the Chud. That's a smart jacket on that guy over there on the left. I didn't pause it in time, but that red jacket, there they are. Look at those. Who are these guys? Who are these gentlemen? They're all Japanese. I think they're all Japanese. Japanese man. Undetermined on the third man whether he was Japanese or not. Body punch there by Yamamoto. We're clinched here. He's going to go for a knee. Nice knee. That went up there. Pretty good. Rude. Tries to break away there and then goes back to leaning on Yamamoto. Nice punch. And there goes Yamamoto. So the third man here is clearly not Japanese. Just a plain old white honky. Yeah, Yamamoto there splashed on the table. Are these the judges? Who are these guys? They seemed unamused by Yamamoto. No reaction from them as Yamamoto splashes their table. How do you score that? Who gets points for that? Bouts restarted here. Some slaps. Ooh, nice straight there from Red. Knee coming from Yamamoto, I think. Maybe not. He's pretty tired right here as they're clinched. Body punch there by Red the Chud. Knee by Yamamoto. And his hot pink, his neon pink, vibrant pink, orangish colored trunks here. As a knee is getting sloppy in a corner here. Rudd might have thrown an uppercut with a closed fist there. Body shot. Nice body shot there. As he gets encouragement from his corner. Nice slap there. Rudd looks pretty good here. As he's pressuring Yamamoto, keeping him in the corner. It's subjective, though. You say pretty good for an MMA fighter back in 1995 when the sport was in its infancy. If you took an MMA fighter from today, a well-trained, multi-talented MMA fighter today, and you put him back in the mid-90s, they would be unstoppable. I don't think they could ever be beat. You know, if you took John Jones and put him back in 1995, And there was no drug testing for the most part. John Jones would be undefeated. He would be king of the world. He'd be the baddest mother effer on the whole planet. Rudd there has closed eyes. Yamamoto's done some damage. That's impressive. I mean, he's doing pretty good. He has a cut, and he has a little damage on his face, but Rudd, look at Rudd here. He's getting 2 fingers. And there's Shiyoshi Kosaka fanning him down. Rudd has got a lot of damage there. I don't think he can see. His eyes closed. His eyes look as tiny as Shiyoshi Kosaka's. I'm sorry, that was a cheap joke. That was a very cheap joke. I apologize to any Asian, specifically Japanese viewer. Rude. There's a over-the-top slap and more slaps from Yamamoto. Yamamoto always starts... Whoa. Try that again, Yamamoto. Just get a little closer. Yamamoto always starts these rounds out very hot, and then he just kind of slows down. A ref there peels away his hand from the ropes. Knee coming. He's going for a clinch. Ooh, nice. Right to the solar plexus. He's going for a takedown here. Was rude. But Yamamoto, that cheating fuck, hooked the ropes. He's going for a slap here. He's getting these slaps off, but to be honest... Oh, there was a closed fist from Yamamoto. Being honest here, Yamamoto's done a lot more damage. So Yamamoto with his is more effective with his knees and his slaps. What is Yamamoto complaining about here? Get back in there, Yamamoto. Quit being a pussy. You're a big guy. Why are you such a pussy? Just fight. It's a fight. Okay? That's how you got to view this. It's not a competition. It's not a sport. Get in there and fight, buddy. Fight as if your life depended on it. Yamamoto here is crumbling, and he gets kicked in the leg. Yamamoto is... I think he's cooked. Something happened. What the fuck happened? Yamamoto was doing good. Now he is... His output is nothing. He's complaining to the ref. What is happening, Yamamoto? Why are you bitching? You're winning. Look at the guy's face. Yeah, get in there and slap him. Beat the shit out of him, Yamamoto. Knee him. Why don't you try a takedown? Look at his face. Does that not inspire confidence? Look at Rudd's corner here pointing out where they want Rudd to punch him. They punch him right in the dick, he said. He pointed right there. Rudd the chud. Rudd the chud. Rudd the chud. Rudd the chud. Rudd the chud gets a chant. There goes Yamamoto. Yamamoto, come on, yes, beat him, Yamamoto. Get him, kill him. That's it. Tear into him. I just don't get some of the fighting conviction of Japanese MMA fighters throughout the 90s was severely lacking. Their fighting conviction was bad. You know, they would take a shot and they would just surrender. Like, not like literally lay, well, sometimes literally they would lay on the ground and just say, I surrender. But they, like, their will to fight would evaporate and it would be completely gone. And they would sometimes just lay there and allow their opponent to beat them up. Now we got a bloody nose for Yamamoto. Maybe that was why he was complaining earlier. He had some problems with his nose. And that might be the end of the fight here. As Rudd lifts up his hands and Yamamoto gets some help here from Shiyoshi Kosaka as Rudd does a victory lap. Look at your face, buddy. That was a good fought match. I assume that's the last round. Here's some of the action here. Slaps, punch, right there. Illegal punch. That was missed, curiously missed by the Dutch ref. They never called this shit. You had Yuji Shimada in there. He would have called that because here comes closed fist. Kaboink. It missed, but still, that's a fist right there. Ref looking, and he knows how he casually just sort of walks out of view. Oh, I didn't see nothing, buddy. That's probably why Yamamoto was complaining. He's getting punched. Breathing hard there. As we get our decision here, who do you think won that? Yoshihisa Yamamoto is the winner, but Rudd, his cornerman, tries. Yamamoto's the winner. So what would become of our two tip-top tupers here? Yoshihisa. Well, after this bout, he would become famous. He fought Rickson Gracie and made it all the way to the third round before Rickson was finally able to put him away. And that was at Vale Tudo, Japan, 1995. Little did Yamamoto know he would be one of the only pro wrestlers that Rickson fought to make it through the first round. I was going to say one of the only fighters that Rickson fought. But Rickson primarily fought, 95% of the time, fought pro wrestlers, Japanese pro wrestlers to be specific. Yoshihisa would have an mostly shit career. I'm going to pause it here so I can finish this. The highlight might have been the day he beat Mark Kerr, and that's an upcoming Future Pride event. Unbelievable. Yoshihisa Yamamoto beating Mark Kerr. As for Rudd the Chud, he would only have one more fight after this. It was against Mitsuya Nagai, and it was at the Future Holland's Rings Holland free fight event. He gave up some time. He gave up some time in the first round. That's what I have written. He gave up. I guess he quit. He quit sometime during the first round. Not exactly sure when or why. I guess they brought out old Dolman's janitor whenever they had a Japanese fighter in Holland who needed a victory. So Mitsuya Nagai needed a victory, so they rolled out Rudd the Chud, the Dolman gym janitor. And he just quit. He's like, fuck this. All right. On to the next bout here, which sees just the aforementioned Mitsuya Nagai. He's taking on Dick Frye, or as I like to call him, Dick Verge. Let's press play. To be honest, this might also be Frye's first real MMA bout, despite an appearance at the numerously mentioned Rings Budokan Hall 1995 event. I don't think that had any pro shoot fights. I think they were all shoot-style worked matches. He's been appearing in rings since the very first event, when he shoot wrestled Akira Maeda, doing the job and losing. The guy has been with rings since the second rings event, Astral Step 2, Aqua Heat as it was called. Look at that ring, babe. Woo! He won via submission against Herman Renting. I would say the guy doesn't have any real bouts under his belt either. There's, what I call him? I forget what I called this ref. Grandpa something. Grandpa Withers? Did I call him Grandpa Withers? Grandpa! Here we go. Nagai in the blue corner. Frye in the red corner. All right, Grandpa Withers. Old man Withers. Nagai in good shape here. Frye in good shape too. Front kick there by Frye to deflect an oncoming Nagai. Frye Nagai. It rhymes. Knees here from Frye. Ooh, there's a solid punch/slap, and down goes Nagai. He just crushed again these Dutch refs. I think that was a fist. Let's go back, not forward, buddy. Keep going back. I think that was a fist. I could be wrong. That was a slap, a knee. Okay, let's slow this down here. Another knee. It was a slap. Okay. What about this last one here? Can't tell. It's pretty aggressive. And down goes Nagai. Let's see that in real time again, though. Fight fans. Dick Frye looking to take out some aggression. Though I will say he hasn't been jobbing to Akira Maeda the entire time. Maeda smartly let Frye win a couple matches to build up their blood feud. Frye in great shape here. He's clearly on the juice. This little short uppercuts, straight slap, straight palm strike. The guy's getting a count here, and I don't think the guy's getting up. Get up, Nagai! He's up at the count of 9, and that's it. Wow, that's it. Old man Withers saw fit that he's not prepared to continue. Good knees. The guy, he gets his world rocked here. I think legitimately he got his world rocked. And Frye must have known that there's no way Nagai is going to be prepared for this. He's going to show off in front of his home crowd. Old Man Withers says, nope, that's it, I'm saving you, buddy. Frye looks like he's ready to put on a show for the home crowd. There you go, Dick Frye, winner. And Yamamoto's in the ring to object. And the Ring Japan's guys are in there. And you see a lot of blood on the shirt of Chiyose Kosaka. Restart the fight. Restart the fight. They can do whatever they want in Rings Holland. There's a Dirty Bob Schreiber with hair, I think. No, I don't think it's Dirty Bob. I think it might have been Dirty Bob. It's hard to tell. Dirty Bob looked a lot different when he was younger and he had hair. They're going to restart the fight? Well, here we go. The ref called the fight. That's it. The ref's decision is final. Are they going to restart the fight? They are going to restart the fight. They do whatever the fuck they want in Rings Holland. Get him the guy. Let's go. Now he's coming out with kicks. He gets kicked. He's down as a trip. Nagai here, very defensive. He wants to make sure that Frye is not going to attack him. And he shoots. Frye sprawls. Tries a knee. Oh, is that a legal knee? And Nagai, ref says, no, 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 son. No, no, no. Get up. You're a man. This is a fight. Get up and don't play that. Frye here going for a slap, a knee. Another slap. He's just all over Nagai here. Nagai, wow. Knee, slap. He's going crazy. Nagai as he smacks him right in the face. Nagai's just eating all this. Nagai, fight back. Nagai, that is it. Legitimately, Nagai is done. Throw in the towel. Now, Nagai gets up, though. He's ready to go, though. I give him, he's got heart. You got to throw a strike, Nagai. Frye's gassing out. Yes, throw a strike. Oh, he gets kneed, slapped. Oh, and that's it. Gets another count here. Nagai is debating whether he wants to get up and absorb more punishment. He's going to go, though. I do like Nagai's mullet. Frye is blowing his wad here. Nagai should weather the storm, back up. But he's not. He's going right after him. He gets kneed and crumpled. That's it. Fight over. Frye destroyed Nagai. And each of those words rhymed. Wow. That was an utter ass kicking. I'm glad they restarted that. I am so glad they restarted that fight. I just had to check real quick that my OBS was still recording. Frye destroyed him. Oh, he's celebrating. So what would become of our two fighters here? After this, Frye would stay active in rings until early 1999, though he didn't have many real shoot bouts in his career, despite his Wikipedia listing saying he did have plenty of pro MMA bouts. Wrong! I say this pretty confidently without having seen all those fights. I would guess his only real fights came at the Rings Holland events, in which he would have about 4 of those appearances. In those, he fought the likes of Hubert Numerick, Pedro Palm, Paul Valerins, and Zane Frazier. He also had a single Ultimate Boxing / Saikendo inspired bout at Ultimate Boxing Pride vs. Saikendo against a Russian whose name I fear trying to pronounce. If you want to see that bout, go check out the classic MMA revival for Ultimate Boxing Pride vs. Saikendo. It's on this channel. As for Nagai, it's a somewhat similar story, except he was only active until 1997, and he had 2 appearances in Rings. I'm going to pause it. 2 appearances in Rings Holland events, which were likely maybe his only real shoot fights of his career. And for those with sharp memories, you'll remember I mentioned Nagai's name when I talked about Rud the Chud, the Dolman gym janitor, about 10 minutes ago, maybe 5 minutes ago. On to the next bout. It sees Akira Maeda versus Chris Dolman. Fuck yeah. Let's see this. Oh, wait, no. Not fuck yeah. It's going to be a judo exhibition. Fuck no. Fuck you. Fuck you, Akira Maeda. Akira Maeda has a chance to actually have a real shoot match instead of a surprise shoot match where he punches a guy not expecting to fight and he doesn't take it. The fucking sissy. Akira Maeda is a sissy. Look at he's like a 6'3" pussy. He's a giant. As he's getting checked there by Yuji Shimada, a very young Yuji Shimada. It says free fight. 5 by 3 minutes. It's not a free fight. It's a fucking judo. Chris Dolman, no slouch. It was a sloppy haircut. It's a kick by Maeda. I thought this was going to be straight judo. There's some soft punches by Maeda. This is a shoot fight, or shoot style pro wrestling. As Dolman is absorbing all this, and Maeda is just sparring with him. Dolman here is trying to I think Dolman is pretty disappointed here. He goes in for punches. His will to live is probably crushed right now because all the other Holland Rings fighters are getting to show off and have real fights to the enjoyment of the crowd, and here he's got to do a bullshit a bullshit match. A bullshit shoot style fake fight against Maeda. There's not a whole lot on that kick from Maeda. He definitely holding back. He knows those punches, little soft punches to the body. Dolman here, breathing heavy from just walking. He comes in, ooh, for slaps and a kick. He put a little bit on that. I don't imagine this one's going to go the 3 rounds. Something tells me it's not going to go 3 rounds. But maybe we'll see. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't go 3 rounds. That's what I'm saying. So we're down to the mat here. Dolman's on top, and I think the crowd is pretty much out of this as they realize what's happening here. They were expecting to see a fight, and they have this. There is not a whole lot of enthusiasm in the crowd. Not for like the previous bout. Frye here. I almost want to skip this fight. I almost just want to tune out. Skip this fight. Dolman looks like he wants to skip this fight. Dolman looks absolutely disgusted. There's some soft work here from Maeda. That's really sparring work. You can tell that these kicks are meant to look good, but he's clearly holding back. He's clearly holding those kicks from being full force and whatnot. Dolman here has the belt. He goes for a knee. Maeda responds with some knees. Dolman goes for a fall away slam there. He's got a tight grip on that gi. Maeda looks very, very cute in his rings trunks. I wonder if that's a highly sought collectible right there. Them rings pants with the gold on the side. I'd like to get me a pair of those. Not used, of course. Freshly new in the box. Never worn. Probably impossible to find, though. I wonder if Akira Maeda still has those rings trunks. He's not on social media at all, is he? There's the bell. And in our first round here, is it 5 by 3 minutes? What was it? I forget. There's a lawn chair brought in for Maeda. We got Shiyoshi Kosaka on fan duty. Hans Neyman giving some instructions to Dolman. Maeda with his afro. Bad kick from Dolman. Don't take kicking lessons from Dolman. Actually, earlier I was expecting this to be a judo exhibition. I might appreciate it more if it was just a straight judo match. That would have been kind of shit, but it would have been something different instead of this. This is a half-hearted attempt at a shoot-style pro wrestling match. Dolman here is pretty old. I want to say he's in his upper 40s for this match. Maybe his early 50s. He's an old man. Fuck you, kid. Like mean dad. Mean dad kick. This is great. He's like, fuck you. Chris Dolman. That's great. He's just like, fuck you. There's a slick kick and he gets tripped for it as it gets caught. Dolman falls on his back. I like Chris Dolman, but I'm dubious of his pedigree in terms of producing good fighters. If his training was really all that it was cut out to be, or if it was just one of the better options circa late 80s, early 90s. Of course, as I covered before, MMA in this period was not very evolved, and it wasn't very evolved or involved in terms of perfection of styles and melding the right styles and all that. So I question Dolman was probably one of the better choices in this period, but in the long run probably wasn't one of the better gyms to be around. Here's a toe hold kind of like thing from Dolman, but Maeda gets to the ropes. Yuji Shimada breaks it up. Dolman seems confused as to what happened. Very young Yuji Shimada. He looks like a very small man compared to these two giant lumbering dudes. Again, I won't take anything away from Kira Maeda. I think he probably was a legitimate 6'2". Maybe not 6'3". I don't know if I believe that, but maybe like over 6'1". Dolman, I think, was in that range too. We're on the mat here as Dolman's been getting off most of the work on the mat here as Akira Maeda just covers up. Akira Maeda, for, I think, obviously being the star of the promotion, didn't always book himself to be the biggest badass. And the crowd is laughing here at something as Dolman has a tight grip on Maeda's gi. Dolman huffing and puffing here. They should have booked this a little bit differently. Akira Maeda, seeing the visage of Dolman across from him, should have called for a real bout. If you can't beat a 53-year-old man and you're a 30-something, in shape, have some type of striking training under your belt, like you can make these kicks look good, he should have just said, okay, let's do a real fight. I'll fight you, old man. And he should have fought him. Like, I think I would give Akira Maeda, despite the fact that I think he is a giant showboating pussy who never fought a real fight in his life, despite people who might say to the contrary. There's no... If you look at every one of his listed pro bouts, I guarantee if you watched him, you could spot immediately that they're works. Okay? Akira Maeda, I think, despite the fact that he never had a real fight, I think I would give him a good shot here to actually beat Dolman, 53, 52-year-old man, in a real bout. And does Akira Maeda tap out? Chris Dolman is the winner. Akira Maeda tapped out. Oh, he's upset. There you go. Well, at least it didn't last the full 3 rounds. Well, it almost did. I'm happy about that. We get out just a little early. So I don't have I did have some stuff written about the men here. I'll pause it. Chris Dolman is vitally important. I should have said this. This was the pre-introduction to the fighters here. Chris Dolman is vitally important to Akira Maeda having continued income back in the early 90s, as it was Dolman who provided the entire roster of fighters Maeda needed to actually hold the first ever Fighting Network Rings events. He is a legendary figure in Dutch MMA, and he looks like a very sweet, caring guy. Akira Maeda, I don't have enough space on the page to fully describe him, nor enough words to speak to do him justice or injustice. that he needs or deserves. So I say nothing. We're going to move on to our 7th bout here. The co-main event, I guess you could call it. It's going to see Herman Renting taking on David Levesque. Dolman gets congratulations. Akira Maeda gets a trophy too. I don't think Akira Maeda broke a sweat. Dolman pouring out sweat. There you go. And here comes David Levesque. He is from the United States of America. Looks in good shape. Big guy. There's Herman Renting, the little pit bull. Herman Renting. He's got Chris Dolman in his corner. Hey, there's a name you probably haven't heard in a while. Owned by a man you likely haven't thought of in a while, David Levesque. He appeared at UFC 2 in March of 1994, losing to Johnny the American Dream. I actually was supposed to do that in a Dusty Rhodes impression. Johnny the American Dream. Dusty... I'll try one more time. Johnny the American Dream. My Dusty Rhodes is really bad. His name is Johnny Rhodes. No relationship to Dusty Rhodes. He also appeared at Valley Tudo Japan 1994 tournament, beating his first round opponent Kazuhiro Kusayanagi. I'm going to pause it via KO before falling to Hickson Gracie in the next round of the tournament via TKO. Herman Renting might be one of the only rings fighters who has a proper MMA record listing on his Wikipedia page. Go look at Herman Renting's Wikipedia page and compare his pro MMA record, knowing that he was at most of the same events as, say, a Hans Neyman or Dick Frye. So go look at Herman Renting's Wikipedia page and look at Dick Frye's Wikipedia page, and assuming that both men were at mostly the same events, I think that tells you all you need to know. So Herman Renting has an astute editor of his Wikipedia page who maintained only the highest standards in terms of his MMA record listing. Despite him being a part of Ring since the beginning, I say it here, unlike jackoffs like Yoshihisa Yamamoto or Dick Frye, Renting has a proper 4 and only 4 bouts listed under his professional MMA record. I guess Renting doesn't have any Wikipedia nut huggers who feel it necessary to list his fake fights as real. Anyway, he still has the problem of having the Ring's Budokan Hall 1995 event listed as his first fight, with him beating David Kakashvili, whoever that is. Again, I'm positive that the Budokan Hall event isn't a real fighting event. Let's press play. Let's see this fight. Herman Renting shoots in. Levesque sprawls. Briefly had the neck there. He has Herman Renting in guard here. Herman Renting, a much smaller fighter here. He gets in a half guard. Levesque is trying to turn Herman Renting over there, I guess, but failed. He's looking to get to the ropes, maybe. As he's crawling back towards the corner, maybe he thinks he might be able to escape back there. He's got the neck of Renting, but Herman, I was going to call him Neckman. Herman Renting pops his head out there. Slow work so far. Not a whole lot of strikes. He seems to be tying up the neck for some reason. Don't know what he's doing. The ref decides, I don't want to see that. He comes in and he stands the fighters up. David Levesque has, I would say, a solid 4 inches on. 4 or 5 inches, maybe more. Depends on the angle, I guess. Over Herman Renting here. If he stood up straight instead of looking like a Neanderthal with his head sort of hunched down. He's got on a nice gi pants here that say Ceylon. Is that the guy who he borrowed the pants from? Ceylon? He didn't bring his own. Maybe his luggage was lost when he made the flight over from America. And when he got here, he said, I have nothing to wear for the fight. So Ceylon, whoever that is, gave him his trunks. That's nice. He has to return them after the fight, though. We're in a corner here. Levesque, you can see his impressive fighting skills on display right here as he's breathing very hard, just holding on to Herman Renting. Levesque, he's got kind of a dad bod going on. muscular. Not too muscular, though. He's got his hands loosely held in a fighting position. Herman Renting, meanwhile, has his trunks pulled way up high, almost to his belly button. He's got his hands loosely held in a fighting position, too, but in a much cleaner looking fashion than Levesque, who's just sort of got his hands held limply in front of him as he's making eye gestures and he's talking shit to Herman Renting here, who scowls in response. The men might punch each other here. Levesque comes in with a couple. Not connecting, though. And it sounds like Levesque might be a shit talker, as he was jack-jawing to Herman Renting there. Much smaller man. It's very easy to do, to talk shit to a guy who's a lot smaller than you. Levesque, bad form there. Didn't really connect with one of those punches, but Herman Renting got off a good one. He gets in side control here as the men fall to the mat. Herman Renting, being much smaller here, should be able to get into positions easier as he goes to mount there. It's a lot easier for him with his smaller legs and smaller body to grapple around the body of a larger man. He's in mount here. Let's see if he does anything with it. He's crushing the face of Levesque. Levesque touches the ropes, though, and we get a rope break. Not sure the rope breaks count at all here in Rings Holland. I don't know if I've said that earlier, but I don't think the rope breaks count for anything. Unlike a normal Fighting Network Rings event, there would have been a counter that appeared on screen to notify us that a rope break had occurred. And if you get 5 rope breaks in a typical Rings Japan event, the fight is over, and the winner is the one who did not do the rope breaks. So no counter. I don't think the rope breaks count. Levesque here is kind of an odd fellow. I'm not sure what his style is. Is it some form of kickboxing? He just has his mouth wide open and his chin hanging out. He almost gets slapped there, and he acknowledges that slap from Herman Renting. He comes in for 2 himself and gets pushed back here. He's not using his size very well. Levesque is not. He should be using his size a little bit better. He should be putting the pressure on the smaller man here. It'd be like big brother, little brother. Enforce your will on him and make him eat dirt. There's a kick from Levesque, another one. Now he moves in. There you go. But he gets turned around here as Herman Renting gets his side here and takes him down. He's in half guard once again. I think he might be able to escape to side control. Remember what I was saying earlier about how much easier it is for a smaller man to grapple around the body of a larger man and to get positions much cleaner and easier. There goes Herman Renting. He's almost in side control here as he's squeezing the head of Levesque and sort of a headscarf, neck crank sort of a submission attempt here maybe. Nothing happens though as the ref or Levesque grabbed the ropes there. So another rope break for Levesque, but again, I don't think that even counts for anything. Fights restarted here. Herman Renting's starting to breathe a little heavy now too. Front push kick there by Levesque. He moves in for a duo of slaps where the right was literally 1 inch behind the left. He threw them both at the same time. And Herman Renting goes out of the ring. He's on the table. He gives, that was Levesque, excuse me. David Levesque flies out of the ring onto the table and slaps a guy on the chest for some reason. Maybe he knew the guy. I hope he knew the guy. Otherwise, that might cause a kerfuffle after the fight in the parking lot. Levesque here is a sloppy fighter. He's not very technical. Herman Renting pushes him, throws him out of the ring again. Levesque is on the other table, on the other side of the ring. I think you couldn't find a bigger tomato can to get a win against than David Levesque. Herman Renting here, I'm losing respect for by the second over the fact that he hasn't put away this giant sack of potatoes yet. Herman Renting, I don't think does have much legitimate fighting skill, though. I will say that. Of his 4 pro MMA bouts, I forget what his record was. I don't have that written down. I don't think it's very good. There's a kick by Renting. Sort of waving his hands around as if he's a wizard or a magician. Levesque there again. He slaps there Levesque, who jackjaws back at him over it. Now Levesque thinks about coming in, but decides against that course of action. He allows himself to be taken down in the corner. Herman Renting here is on top, leaning his elbow on the shoulder of Levesque. Now he's getting around behind him. But we're in a corner. There's no submission can come from this because of a rope break. So the ref should have just stopped this immediately and said, get out of the ropes. No course of action can come of this. Levesque here, as I was mentioning earlier, he's not very technical. He's not very good. He is, I guess you could say, throwing those slaps for effort. But his control is not very good as he's leaning out of the ropes here in a very suggestive manner, eliciting a cackle from a lady in the audience. He runs in. Whoa! He tries to surprise Herman Renting there, and he knocks out his mouth guard as he gets off a few good ones here. Herman Renting desperately shoots for the legs. Audience member now possesses Herman Renting's mouth guard. As we have a silent commentator here who has a commentating headset on, not saying anything. And I do want to go back so we can watch this amazing trickery from Levesque. Here we go! And there it goes. Okay, that wasn't Herman. I thought that was Herman Renting's mouth guard. Maybe it was. The ref kicks that off. Whatever it was, it's now out of there. I thought it flew off in the crowd. I guess it didn't. Whatever that was, the ref took care of it. It might have been a piece of tape or something. Toilet paper from Levesque's butt. Maybe it just sort of came loose from that flying kick. Levesque here kind of looks like Luke Wilson. Who does this fighter look like? He looks like Luke Wilson. He maybe fights as well as Luke Wilson does. So Luke Wilson here in his debut pro MMA bout. I didn't realize Luke Wilson was so big. I thought Luke Wilson, like his brother, was, like most Hollywood actors, was maybe 5'7". All Hollywood actors are really small. Like Sylvester Stallone, the mega action star. He's like 5'2". So I didn't realize Owen Wilson was so freaking big. He's pretty jacked too, and he's got what is that, a cheetah? He's got a cheetah tattoo on his left arm. So Luke Wilson. Let's go. You notice how this fight has been going on for what seems like forever, because I don't think this one has rounds. I think it has one long, just one endless fight. Oh, God help me. Levesque here has resorted to just pacing forward towards Herman Renting with his arms completely down, and the bell finally rings. I certainly hope that is the end of the fight. Luke Wilson, he's a pretty shitty fighter, I will give him that. I am not impressed with what I see. Okay. He barely resembles Luke Wilson. That's it, the fight's over. Thankfully, we only had one round of that. Here's the highlights from the match. Levesque gets shoved out of the ring. They should replay Levesque's Pearl Harbor kick there, where he just sort of flies. And Herman Renting gets the victory. I guess I can't complain too much about that. After this, David Levesque was done fighting. He quit. He became a door-to-door salesman for Life Alert. Herman Renting, meanwhile, fought professionally twice more. Once against Akira Soji at Pride 11, a submission loss. Then against Pete Van Gameren at Rings Holland. Heroes live forever. What a name for an event. Renting also lost to Pete by a decision. So here we go. It's time for the main event, which sees Joop Van Deveen taking on John Owerkirk. Owerkirk. It's Owerkerk. Owerkirk? I'm just going to go with that. Owerkirk. Joop Van Deveen. Joop Van Deveen. Okay. Wait, hold on. Let's replay that. As we got a babe. She's not very pretty. She looks kind of scary. But I want to hear how you say this guy's name. Okay, I still... I got nothing. She has on the biggest pair of panties I think I've ever seen in my life. As she awkwardly gets into the ring. She's happy, though. She's a happy gal. I won't take anything away from her. Joop has one fight on his record. And it came at a Pancrase event. The second ever Pancrase event, in fact. He fought Katsuomi Inagaki and lost via palm strike KO. John Owerkirk. This is his first fight. And it's at this point, you have this fucking guy. Right here. Joop Van Deveen. This guy, who is not an impressive specimen at all. Versus this other guy who's never had a single fight in his life. This is your main event. Okay. My expectations are basement level. Like, my expectations for this fight couldn't get any lower. You have this 4'9" midget in Joop Van Deveen. Against a relative nobody who I've never heard before. I kind of go off on this fight after it's concluded. I don't know how long the fight is, but I do go off. I go off. I go off the rails on this fight after its conclusion. There's a slap. And John Kirk falls down here. He's got a very smart looking flat top there. I'm trying to recognize who he looks like. Russell Crowe? Does he look like a little bit like a Russell Crowe? It might be someone I know locally. He comes in with a kick. And Joop, who's an old man, who's like 50 years old here, goes for a rolling sort of throw there. And Dave gets to the ropes. Joop here, he's like your dad, or it's like your dad who goes to the bar all the time, who knows how to bar fight. He thinks he's a real badass, especially when he gets drunk. That's Joop here. As he catches the leg, and this is a fucking work. Fuck you. You're fucking kidding me. What the fuck was this? This was a complete work. Unless this guy's just a rank amateur and he's so afraid of being hurt with a mild leg lock here, like an ankle lock. He kicks. He makes sure he gets caught. Up his fall down. Oh my god. Oh wow. That's it. Oh fuck. Old man Withers there, making sure to control Joop. Joop, he's the winner. Hey, he won. Hey, congratulations, he won. Everybody's in there. Dolman. Oh, God, and he's limping. This was the last fight for both men. Neither man ever fought ever again. Joop Van Deveen decided to go out on a high note, and he never fought again. John Owerkirk did the job, and much like a man who fought Nobuhiko Takada at Pride 3. I can't remember his name right now. He was brought in to do the job. He decided that he got his trophy. He would never need to fight again. There's a smiling face of our winner, Jupe Vidiven. Look at that face. He is God's gift to women. This guy probably gets so much poontang, he doesn't know what to do with it. Let's see what's at the end of this video here, because the event is over. We get highlights, I guess. Let's fast forward. Okay, let's read some of the credits here. Let's see. Okay, let's see the credits. There was the highlight. That should have been the main event. Maybe it was the main event and they just reordered it. This event was sponsored by main sponsor Bulldog Amsterdam, Yabyun, Condor Video, De Kronenberg Group, Casa Rosso, HNR Holding, Hard Rock Cafe, Bogart Blue Jeans, organization Chris Dolman, that's who organized this. Sporthal Zuid, camera. Here's our cameramen. The Khan brothers, Johan Khan and Michael Khan. Michel Khan, Johan and Michel. Harry Bergenmeister, technical director. These are some of the nicest credits I think I've ever seen in my life. We've got a Boss Boone, who edited it, and he also produced this. Copyright Nico Tushogu Press. There you go. We still got more time left on the video. We have about, let's see. What the fuck? Did he just hit him in the face? Holy shit. We've seen this. This was one of the very first live streams I ever did on this channel. We watched the cage fight tournament from Antwerpen. He just gets smacked. Oh my god, why? And they're beating the shit out of him. That's how you highlight your fight video that you want people to buy or rent. You show this guy getting sticks broken over his back. Rene Roos with headbutts. Rene Roos beating up, I forget who he beat up there. Hard elbows, he beat the shit out of that guy. That's what you show. New, the super action video cage fight tournament from Antwerpen with the Interland Holland versus Belgium. Produced and distributed by Niku Tushogo Press. Call that number if you want some. Whoa! If you want a very expensive phone bill, call that number. This man is getting murdered and the ref is doing nothing about it. He's getting crushed. Like he's like getting the towel gets thrown in because the ref is clearly not doing his job. There was our karate guy. What the fuck? Did you see those punches? Were those for real? He won, I guess. He beat him. We watched this event. I don't remember. Dirty Bob Schreiber, he's getting choked. It was a very weakly applied choke there, and I can't believe Bob Schreiber couldn't get out of this. All he needs to do is like fall backwards and roll. There he's cheating, holding on to the fences. He's putting on a guillotine as he's fighting Burt Reynolds. That chick was really into the event. I remember she was like so into it. I think she was a plant. Like, she looks like a cute little girl. You know, she might be like 4'2". She is going. She's crazy. I think she's a Belgian lady. She's Belgium. I would have liked to meet her back in the day. She looked like she could have been a whole lot of fun. Well, I think we're coming to the end here of our old fight. What are you? New. Just okay, we get it. All right, I think I'm over this. Okay, Burt Reynolds won. There we go. What did you think of this event, fight fans? Not the Antwerpen event, but the Rings Holland Free Fight #1. Did you like it? Was it any good? Did you like my commentary? No, you don't? Well, fuck you. Just kidding. Unless you're going to make a rude comment below, then the fuck you does apply. If you're going to say something critical, but in a respectful way, I'll allow that. Anyway, friends and loved ones, fight fans around the world, I am the most dangerous man alive today. And, well, bye.